Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Into the Breach. Today we're going to an island that kind of looks like a circuit board, but remarkably is not the place where all the robots are. Because this stuff, it's acid. What it is this island is covered in acid. Detritus tech can break down any matter into its base elements. Their factory cities are devoted to waste removal and recycling. And I looked it up, it's detritus according to the dictionary. Alright, let's go pay him a visit. I've heard of your triumphs against the Vec, Commander. We hope you and the Riftwalkers can aid us in our fight as well. I mean, smashing bugs is basically all we do. Listen, we have a lot of reactor cores, but I can't imagine what enough reactor cores would even look like. Obviously, we're headed out to Chemical Field A. Destroy some acid vats, protect a defense lab. A Vec Hive lies directly beneath the waste disposal tanks in this region. Detonate the vats, and the chemical runoff will destroy the Hive. Yeah, that's good. Let's just... Chemical runoff. That's the thing you always want everywhere, all the time. Okay, so we got some alpha leapers. We got a lot of alpha stuff, actually. A leaper, a firefly, and a scarab. We also have an alpha burrower. It will hide underground after taking 1 or more damage. And it has a 3-tile wide 2 damage attack, which is annoying. And a spider. There's a sticky egg that hatches into a spiderling and also webs up all of the stuff it touches. So we should be careful to try to avoid leaving our mechs near each other. That situation that is depicted there is bad news for us. I think I'm just going to drop the combat mech here. And... yeah, we'll try to come in from over here. This should give us a good variety of push angles. And hopefully a lot of coverage for wherever new Vec try to spawn. Okay, well that's not really an issue. So I mean, the picture for this just shows the spider spawning. It's not like it attacks the things that are webbed when it comes out, right? So maybe I don't need to worry that much about this. It's apparently just going to have... yeah, it's just going to have 1 health. Yeah, I'm not too concerned about that thing. So what we could do, right, is we could take advantage of our double action thing here. We could drop a shot directly on this thing's head, which apparently will cause it to flee. And this is great for us. The tank can come over and deal with this pretty easily, and then our hero just punches this thing into next week. It has 4 health. Actually, that's a problem. He doesn't have enough movement to come up and judo throw it over the shoulder. That's a shame. This is actually a real problem. Wait, no it's not. Because we have the acid tank. The acid tank will save us. Yeah, so that double action thing turns out to be very relevant. So we can just crush the leaper. The acid tank comes over here. And now we have lethal damage from the punch. Alright, easy. We have to remember, we're trying to get some XP onto our artillery unit here. Well, that doesn't seem like a very smart place to have moved to. Oh, okay. Well, that's going to make it considerably harder to push in. Never mind. No, it's not. I just drop an artillery shell right here, and it solves the spiderling problem and this guy being in the way problem. Oh. Oh, no, wait. I want to destroy these acid vats, right? Yeah, this lets me put a damage onto the acid vats. Our combat mech will be just fine. He can absorb A damage. So what do we want to do with you? We could have the hero come up and punch this guy, and then have the artillery drop the shot to finish it off. It will mean that we get a spawn. Not ideal. Kind of thinking our combat mech might just be taking it on the chin here. Oh, no. Here's what we do. We move to here so we're blocking this spawn, and we just toss this guy. He can kill the acid vat. And we're still getting 1 block. We have to kill the spider, which is pretty easy. We have to do some damage to the alpha burrower, which should be pretty easy. In fact, the tank can trivially kill it. Yeah, okay. Let's move the tank to here. Because the burrower chose to come up underneath the acid pool. Easy to kill. And then we drop an artillery shot right here and push the spider into us to kill him. There we go. 1 XP. That's better than nothing. And then you, I guess, just can't quite get in position to block a spawn, but we can acid this guy up so that he's easily killed by the artillery unit next turn. I think this is a pretty favorable situation. Now we have to deal 1 damage to this acid vat and just basically do a good job from there. Why do they want to come up under the acid so badly? Very strange. Well, obviously we could kill this guy. We have 2 turns left, so we don't have to destroy the barrel this turn. So we could fire here to kill this spiderling with the push, and then fire here, which breaks the acid vat. Oh, if we're gonna do that, we do this first. That way the artillery shot kills the leaper. I'm being very cavalier with our health right now, but I guess we are getting it back when we deal killing blows, so I suppose I can be. Right, you, I guess, should move forward and then force him to submerge. I don't think these Vek are exactly tactical geniuses. We need 3 more XP on our artillery guy. Well, he fires right here. Will it push? It does push the egg out. Okay, that's interesting. That breaks the webs. Trying to figure out how we what the best way to soften this thing up for the artillery unit to kill it is. We just have the combat mech walk up and punch it from behind. That should work. Oops, I did push my I did push my tank into the acid tile. You know, it's a little tank factory. That's what the image here is depicting. So that shouldn't be a problem. We'll just build a new one. Okay, and we maxed out all of our levels, which was also an achievement. Alright, 100% of the vats were destroyed and the chemicals released. Our sensors are already picking up diminished Vek activity in the region. Boy, I sure hope that I'm right about that tank thing being a tank producer, and that we didn't just destroy our only tank. Well, we're doing a pretty good job on these high threat missions. I think we should definitely go for maximum rewards here. Defend both power plants and block the Vek from spawning 3 times. I am pretty good at that. Power plants in this sector are critical against the Vek, Commander. If lost, we may lose detritus as well. Wait, I thought you were Detritus. Like, aren't you the CEO of Detritus? Maybe the island's called Detritus? I thought it was the name of the company, though. Alright, so we have here a Scion healing all other Vek for 1 at the start of their turn. Well, I don't care for that. Why don't I drop down right here? We can soften him and one of the Alpha Leapers up. A pretty similar approach here to the one we took last time. Oh, the Scion regeneration happens at the beginning of the first turn as well. Okay. That is unfortunate. Well... let me think here. We probably have to actually use the artillery mech's attack to... see, I could come over here and punch the burrower. Then we could spawn the tank, have the tank push this guy so that he kills the blood scion. And then I don't know what else we do, but I think that's pretty good. As long as we just walk out of this guy's... actually, what's the attack order? Okay, this guy goes at the end, so he'll kill the Leaper after the Leaper kills the blood scion. This is actually a really good plan, I think. So in case I'm not being explicit enough, we're going to punch this guy to make him submerge. Then we're going to spawn our tank over here. Tank factory. Everything's fine. Alright. So now attack order is such that the Leaper will kill the blood scion, and then the Firefly will kill the Leaper. And then all we have to do over here is get rid of this last enemy. We only do 2 damage, but... but we could use the pushback from the artillery, slam the tank into this thing, and then not only do we get to kill it, but he's at full health because he heals from dealing a killing blow to it. Yeah, this feels pretty good. I feel like I figured this one out. This was the right answer. Okay, well that is not a very dangerous place for that guy to be. This guy's got the acid all over him, so I'm not too worried about him doing any terrifying stuff. How do we want to handle this? I guess I can get a pretty good shot with the tank from this side. And then we splash this guy with the acid. And unfortunately, all I can do is shoot at him with the artillery, right? Oh, actually... I cannot shoot at him with the artillery. I need to be 2 spaces away in the same line. I mean, I can just get out of the way, but I'd like to deal damage. Unfortunately, the combat mech can't line up with him in any way either. That's not true. Here's what we can do. Now we have our punch. Alright, I don't feel so bad about... oh, I was going to say I don't feel so bad about letting 3 Vex spawn, since we're killing everything. But, right, I was supposed to be blocking Vex spawning. Well, I do believe I have made this impossible. Because we only have 1 more turn of spawns, right? Yeah, and there's not going to be... oops, the most we can spawn, the most we can block is 2, because I was way too focused on doing damage and not focused enough on the mission objectives. Not so good. Well... now what, smart guy? The artillery... I'm trying to figure out what the best way of manipulating these 2 guys is. We do have to actually kill or push off both of them. Actually, just taking the shot with the tank right now, and then following it up with an artillery shot directly on top of the bug, gives us a pretty good push. All we have to do is get the punch mech out of the way, or have him come down here and just slay this thing. No, he can't do that. He has to be the one who punches this thing. And unfortunately, all the acid tank can do is this. The spiderling's still going to spawn. Although I guess it's going to have acid on it when it spawns now. That doesn't matter. It only has 1 health. Well, I was so busy crowing about how I definitely had figured this out that I forgot to do the objectives. To a certain extent, the stars are a lot less important than they used to be. We're as built up as we probably need to be. We're almost as built up as we can be. But honestly, not getting the star could be the difference between us getting an extra reactor core or not, so definitely a mistake. Alright, so all we actually have to do is stop this guy and this guy from landing their attacks. It doesn't seem too hard. Use this to kill the webbing. Let the tank roll out. That means now we can do this. Hey, wait a second. This wasn't a good idea. This is the space where I needed to shoot that guy too with the tank. And this guy deals 3 damage, so I can't just push him in front. We need we need to reset the turn. There was a couple of sequences of good moves that unfortunately were not. I just didn't do stuff in the right order, pretty much. That's really important. That has to happen early on. And actually, from there, I think everything can be the same. We no longer care about XP, so it doesn't actually matter if stuff dies or not. Yeah, I can't kill this guy with the artillery shot, because if I do, the spider will collide with the building. Although I could just kill the spider first. We haven't gotten to do this very much. Okay, that was fun. May as well get lethal, I suppose. Yeah, alright, well, I didn't get the star. It's not great. We do get full power and, in fact, a little bit of extra grid defense. If you gain power while your power meter is full, I think you get 2% extra grid defense. It's 2 or 3. Still not enough. Yeah, it's 2. Still not enough to rely on, but, you know, nice to have. And then from here, I guess we just go full stars, right? Kill 4 enemies inflicted with acid. Something tells me we can pull that off. Detritus has assigned an acid tank in this sector to the Riftwalkers. Use it to study the acid's effect on the Vek. I have a lot of first-hand information for you about how acid affects Vek, let me tell you. What am I most worried about? I think this guy is probably one of the most annoying enemies. Okay, extra rewards. All I have to do is be paying enough attention to go get them. Okay, that was nice of him. So... pretty easy to deal with all of these guys. Let's just make sure we're doing this in a way that actually lets us deal with everybody. This is the biggest danger. And that's solved by just doing this, right? Okay, we roll this acid tank out of the way. I don't even know what I'm going to do with it. We're going to use the punch mech, do a dash punch to kill this guy. It doesn't say that I need to keep this acid tank alive. So maybe I don't. I'm going to put my acid tank down. And he can do this. I guess we just roll over here and kill this guy, right? Yeah, unfortunately this one can't block stuff. I probably should have used this one to push that enemy out of the way and use my acid tank to block a spawn. That would have been smart. Well, I'll use this one to apply acid to this guy, just working on our goals here. And we dash punch over here, which gets that guy to submerge. Yeah, I would say that having extra units to command really is extremely powerful. Wow, they really don't care for him. I don't think it was wise for them to set themselves up in so many positions where they can be pushed into each other, frankly. Let's see here. How do I want to do this? I could step down here, block the spawn, punch this guy into the artillery mech. And then this acid tank can shoot this spiderling egg into the artillery mech. Then he's free to move around. He's going to have to go get some health, but... The artillery mech then has to damage this guy, right? Because this guy can't be allowed to do his attack because they'll hit this building. And then we actually only have the tank left and he has to deal with 2 enemies? Okay, so that's not actually a good plan. There are 3 enemies that have to be dealt with right now. Also, it would be a good idea to deal with the Leaper. No, we have to deal with the Leaper. It cannot be allowed to kill a guy. We can deal with the Leaper with just a push, though. Right, like this works. And I don't think there's anything else this acid tank can do that's super relevant. This acid tank doesn't push with its attack. Shoot. Well, yeah, that sucks. We could use the artillery mech. We could drop a shot on top of our acid tank, which would push the egg. That kills the egg from this side. That doesn't... all that does is free up this acid tank to move around, which he doesn't actually benefit from doing. Like, it doesn't help us. Yeah, this was not a good move. All 3 of these guys have to get hit. All 3 of them will die to any hit, but they all have to get hit. This guy could be a push instead, but the rest of them have to get actually hit. The fact that we can't push this guy into the other guy makes this a lot more difficult. Okay. We do that. Like I said, here it can just be a push. This isn't enough. We have no way of dealing damage to both of these guys. I mean, I can deal damage to this guy, but not in a way that prevents him from hitting me. The artillery mech has to be freed or he can't do damage here. No, never mind. I'm totally fine. What am I thinking? I can totally just free the artillery mech and then... No, I didn't destroy the egg. Yeah, okay. I may have put myself in a position where I can't get all the kills. Like I can't save all the buildings. I would rather take a point of power grid damage than lose my artillery mech's pilot, obviously. So your attack does not push. I think in this situation that makes this guy useless. Yeah, nothing needs to be hit with acid. I guess if he could shoot this with acid... No, because any way we hit... The only thing that changes is that makes this mech able to punch from here to kill it. But that doesn't actually help us. Because if we were going to punch this guy, we would punch him from down here anyway, and that's already 3 damage. We don't get another reset. So I have to actually, like, take a moment here and do this correctly. If we free the artillery mech, he can move to here, launch a shot that drops this guy under the ground and pushes this guy off. And then we can have the tank deal with the other guy. I think this is the play. So we kill that guy. Okay, now the artillery mech can move. It has to move to here. That solves those two problems. And now the cannon mech can move to here. We gotta move this guy so that he doesn't get killed by the pushback. Yeah, it doesn't really matter where. Okay, there it is. I found it. And then, yeah, there's no point in shooting with him. Okay, and we don't get any new spawns. All we have left is the spider egg that's going to get spawned by this guy, and one leaper. One leaper who is determined to leap into acid over and over again. I kind of forgot this guy was going to be a thing, right? Well... Also, I've pushed my artillery mech's health to its absolute limit. How do we do this? Oh, I'm only webbed by this thing. For some reason I was thinking he was webbed by the leaper. This is actually fairly easy then, right? We take this shot. If we take this shot, I can't move the tank afterward, though. Which means that the tank is providing cover for this guy. I really, really, really wish that this acid tank had a push. This is actually pretty tough. We could have the tank do the shot. Then have the combat mech throw him over onto this space, and that frees up this spot for somebody to come over here and like do some actual damage. Except I can't do actual damage because I need to use the artillery mech to kill this guy, where he has to like back up and shoot here. Which means it doesn't get a second attack. We can push him once, but only exactly once. This is bad. I think we're going to take some building damage here. Our poor acid tank can't actually get anywhere to do anything relevant. If I just shoot the cannon mech at the leaper, that doesn't leave anybody who can get to a position to stop the burrower, so it will do 1 damage to this building. It won't necessarily kill the artillery mech, because I could just use my turn to repair. He has 3 move. 3. That doesn't help us. Yeah, because that leaves us with no way to kill the spiderling egg, right? Wait a second. You have 3 move, 4 move. What if we take the combat mech to here, use the judo throw to break the cannon mech out of the webbing, then the cannon mech can move to here, he can still take the shot, but now he's no longer blocking the egg. We can move our acid tank with the pushing ability to this space, shoot the egg, that's it. Shoot the egg, that breaks the webbing on the artillery mech. The artillery mech, I figured it out. I think I've got it. When this doesn't work, it's going to be very embarrassing. So I'm going to definitely intentionally cover my units with acid and damage them a lot. And actually, I could take the shot from here even. And block a spawn. Thank you, 4th point of movement. Then we can take our acid tank to here. Push this to break that. Move this guy. He gets to drive this thing back underground. Oh, I missequenced. I could have moved the acid tank to here, shot that guy, acid him up, and then killed him with the artillery. I still made the error. I still made an error. It's not the same error, but it's an error. Well, I don't need to protect this acid tank, and we're about to reach the end of the level here, so I'm gonna sacrifice him to block a spawn. Okay, there's some unorthodox maneuvers there, but I think it was for the best. Unauthorized organic excretions. Sorry, who do you talk to about authorizing your excretions? How does that process work? Okay, and this is actually completely trivial, because only one of the enemies is even trying to do a thing that matters. Yeah, and then, like, tank just walks out of the way. Now he gets to kill that little spiderling. This doesn't matter even a little bit. Take that, spider egg. He gets to act again, so I guess we can also kill this guy. Yeah, that was a pretty successful turn. And we protected the time pod. I never went to pick it up, but we kept it around, so we'll still get the loot. I feel really good about that. I think that one turn was fairly difficult, and I'm pleased that I figured something out. I still didn't actually play it right, but I figured something out. Oh, a new pilot. Push adjacent tiles when repairing, and +2 mech HP. That's pretty good. New pilot unlocked in the hangar. We're not actually going to use him, probably, but we can sell him back to the corporation. Alright, and like I said, I think the only thing that makes sense now is to go for stars, so block Vec from spawning 3 times, protect the old Earth bar, and this time we're actually going to do the blocking thing. Acid can destroy hives beneath this sector, but we need you to keep Vec from surfacing so the acid has time to do its work. Also, don't let them destroy the only karaoke bar left on the island. Well, I mean, if they're going to give me the opportunity to start the battle by doing 3 damage, I'm going to start the battle by doing 3 damage. This tile will push any unit in the direction marked on the belt at the beginning of the enemy turn. Okay. We'll see if we can't come up with a clever way to use that. Really, another time pod. I don't have enough stuff yet, I guess. Pod has carved an unauthorized trench on the island surface. Silica is really concerned with whether things are authorized or not. Yeah, get away from the windows. That'll save you. Everybody crawl under the tables. Tuck your head between your legs. I know this works. Alright, well... we can't quite kill the alpha spider. So we probably want to deploy our acid tank, right? We actually have to kill 3 enemies. Like, all 3 of these guys have to be actually dealt with. We probably deploy the acid tank and then, once again, like, fire an artillery shot to push the egg into ourselves. The acid tank can be deployed here and can just push this guy down. That would be good enough. Yeah, actually, that's pretty good. And then we can use the tank to shoot this guy to make him go underground. And the Alpha Scarab, we can just we can do the judo toss on him so that he's firing here. I can't just punch him because he'll still deal damage to a building. That's not bad though. I think that's probably the play. Alright, so acid tank this way. Destroy the spider egg. Don't think it matters which space our tank ends up in. Yeah, unfortunately, this does not allow us to stop any of the spawns, so we're going to be dealing with quite a few enemies next turn. Also, the conveyor belts were not particularly relevant that turn. Maybe they will be this time. Oh, that's exactly what I was hoping for. I was like, please, Leaper, do not move. So now we can kill these two by just hitting the Leaper from this side. Oh yeah, we do need to focus on preventing the Vec from emerging. Except none are emerging this turn, so I actually can't do that. Okay, so we have to kill a whole lot of Vec this turn so that there's some chance that 3 spawning slots will happen. I didn't even think about the fact that if we left this many Vec alive, it probably wouldn't spawn any new ones. That's unfortunate. What's the attack order on these guys? This one attacks first. And he attacks for... He attacks for... Oh no, this is the spider. Never mind, I don't have to deal with it. I don't have to worry about him at all. I was trying to figure out if I could, like, somehow maneuver him to hit that guy. Let's see, we're not actually in any danger here with the tank. Pretty sure that we just punch this guy into that guy. And the best thing for us to do would be to make the Alpha Leaper move this way. Which I actually can't do. No, I could do it from here. Move on to the pod, drop this here. Okay, so the Alpha Leaper is dealt with and kills the spider. The acid tank does not get to do any cool stuff. He can take a little ride on the conveyor belt. And then the tank gets to kill something. I don't actually think it matters what. I'm not sure that I've lowered the number of enemies here enough for us to get 3 spawns. And even if we did get 3 spawns, you know, it's tough to do 3 in one turn. Okay, that's not a problem. Also not a problem. Okay, it did give us 3 spawns. We can still do it. And it's actually pretty easy, I think. We punch you onto here to block that, which frees him up to move here and him to move here. And that's the end of the turn? I don't think we want to do anything else. Hey, we could shoot this guy, or I could walk over and punch this guy. No, I used your move. We can do a repair. And the tank can move forward so it's ready to contribute in some way. We definitely don't want to fire on this thing from above because it'll stop one of our spawners. Okay, managed to pull that out right at the end a little bit there. Oh, I totally wasn't even paying attention to the direction of his attack. It turns out he had it under control. Which means that on the last turn there are actually no enemies. Alright, everybody gets a conveyor ride. Whee! Okay. That one went pretty alright. Alright, sadly, no perfect objectives on this one. We do not get our bonus reward. I was not paying enough attention. So yeah, I guess that's the real thing, right? I was talking about how one star is maybe not the end of the world. It might not even make a difference, but it does mean we don't get our perfect. Alright, we've detected an unknown Vec approaching the detritus hub. We're gathering what intel we can, Commander, but we need the Riftwalkers. Yeah, sure, who doesn't? The Beetle Leader. Charge and light every tile in the path on fire. It looks like it doesn't light the target that it hits on fire, though. That's good to know. Also, he's massive, so dumping him in the acid won't kill him, but it will, you know, coat him with acid. Certainly has its value. Well, I think we'd better drop so that we do damage to him. I want to make sure we drop our artillery unit in a row where he has full latitude. Okay, that's good. He's charging in the wrong direction. That'll make things a little easier on us. That could be an issue, though. Okay, none of the enemies are attacking anything of value. So, how do we want to deal with this? Well, I could move the tank over here, shoot this leaper into this burrower. That'll drop them both underground. And then we use the artillery. Then we use the artillery to we shoot the boss. That breaks the webbing on the combat mech because it pushes him free, and then he can do whatever he needs to do with his turn. The boss bug goes first. So actually, if I just punch it so that it's standing in this space, we're in great shape. Yeah, okay. And then we'll use our other action to deploy the tank, but we don't actually have to do anything with him. Well, hold on. Let's not do that just yet. Get the punch. Okay, so this guy's dead. Yeah, and then we just like deploy the acid tank right here so it blocks the spawn. Yeah. I think that's pretty good. Unauthorized excavation of rival Vec. He hates it. He hates it when things are unauthorized. Alright, now remember, if we push this guy into the water, it will disable his attack. So we do at least have the option of shoving him into the acid with the tank. Man, I need an attack that can do 3 damage. I feel like we're constantly getting stymied by stuff doing 3. Well, I mean, we move here and punch. We have the tank push this guy down. This turn seems to be pretty straightforward. I guess I'm not actually killing a lot of these enemies, but we are preventing spawns and stuff. And then we could leave the acid tank right here. And just have him block the spawn again. But I think we can kill the beetle leader by pushing him off of the ledge, so now he's covered in acid. And then having the artillery just drop a shell directly on top of him. And that's probably better than blocking a random spawn. Whatever was going to come out is not as dangerous as the beetle leader. In fact, not dangerous at all, really. Annoying more than anything. So, this is a little awkward, actually. I was thinking the artillery could be used to kill the Alpha Burrower, since it only has 1 health, but if I shoot the Alpha Burrower, it's going to push the egg into a building and destroy the building. Or damage the building, at least. Well, we can move the acid tank out of the line of fire, obviously. Have him push this guy, so we no longer have to worry about this. I don't think there's anything else really relevant he can do, so we may as well just do that. Actually, no, I probably shouldn't just do stuff without figuring out what the whole plan is. What is wrong with me? That said, I think we're okay. We kill this guy with the tank instead of with the artillery. The artillery does not get to kill anybody, unfortunately. I could use him to stop the egg, I guess. Yeah. We use him to kill the egg. Which means that we don't have to use the combat mech to kill the egg, so he's free to, I don't know, punch this guy in half? One less enemy to deal with next turn. Okay. It's nice to see a Scion emerge on the final turn. One more thing we don't have to deal with. And in fact, we don't have to deal with very much here. Okay, that frees all of our guys from the webs. We roll you just kind of out of the way so that the tank can force this guy to submerge. And now we're done. We're good. Then I get to punch something. Don't think it matters what. We're going to get a toss kill, just because I haven't gotten very many of those. That'll show him. We may not have killed him, but we did make him feel really gross. He's definitely going to want to go take a shower now. The Vec abomination is down and our corporate hub is intact. You and the Riftwalkers have Detritus's gratitude. Yeah, easy. Oh, hey, I got an achievement. Finish a corporate island without taking building damage. Oh. Hey, good work, me. I was so close to getting another perfect. Alright. So, like I said, I think we're just parting with Harold Schmidt here. What is this? Punch an adjacent tile, damaging and pushing it to the left. Ah, it's like throw a hook. Powerful attack that damages a large area, only has 1 use per battle. That does seem good, though. Doesn't do any pushing. The Vortex Fist, ooh. Self-damage 2. But that is very powerful. Or Rocket Artillery. Fires a pushing artillery and creates smoke behind the shooter. And it has a base damage of 2. Well... Do I want to just, like, get rid of the Viscera nanobots, maybe? We're still not using the Vice Fist. It has totally saved a mission, though. The moving one unit over another unit is a capability we don't get a lot of. I'm wondering if I might want to switch to one of these other types of fists. There are a lot of situations where we just can't get the right angle on the enemy. I'm going to sell this. And I think... grab the Vortex Fist. Does do 2 base damage. You can lower the self-damage on this for not very much power. It's very powerful. Although, you have to be careful with it, because it does hit all adjacent tiles, so you can't stand next to an ally while doing it. But you know, we're using the deep deployment thing to drop him at the other end of the field, and I'm going to take this. This is exciting. And then I think just 3 reactor cores. Okay, let's install at least 1 core here. To new device. I expect nothing less than 100%, and don't you dare do anything unauthorized. He's watching. Sorry, he's not the right one. That was insensitive of me to not be able to tell our robot pilots apart. Alright, so now we have 5 cores. What else do we want? We could take a big damage boost on the Artemis artillery. We should probably install one of them here to lower the self-damage on this to just 1. 2 self-damage is a lot. We do still have the nanobots, so if he can get at least 1 kill out of it, it effectively doesn't hurt him. I think that's pretty good. We could boost his heal. I think I want him to do a lot of damage. Yeah, the fact that we can almost always drop the artillery shot anywhere on the map we want it makes the fact that it does 3 damage so relevant. And then we have 1 more core left, and I'm thinking maybe like plus movement on the combat mech, just so we can line up his stuff most effectively. Alright, I'm feeling pretty powerful. Let us leave the island, and I think we're just going to go straight into the boss fight, because this is not... it's not going to be long enough to sustain a whole video by itself, I think. Alright. Volcanic Hive, the last stand. With the Vec driven off the islands, you have a chance to wipe them out at their source. You are humanity's last hope. You know, this version, this timeline of humanity. What is that? Throws a massive blob that will explode, dealing 3 damage. Okay. That's gross. And then we just have like a really good Hornet. Well, I think that's a no-brainer. Seems like a pretty good start. So close now. Can we do it? I imagine, based on the look on this guy's face, that he says everything in the most intense way possible. Oh, this is awkward. They've dropped the power pylons in a bunch of places that are going to make it actually pretty hard to use our Vortex Punch. Okay. So we got a lot of enemies incoming, and we also have to deal with this. There's this huge volcano that will constantly be shooting lava. I believe that anything that's on the tile when it turns into lava immediately dies. I think it even kills flyers. I think it's not just that the tile turns into lava, it's also a kill. So... this is awkward. I was thinking... Well, we could drop an artillery shot right here. That actually deals with both of these guys. It'll cause this guy to deal 2 damage to the blobber. But if I move and fire, I don't get to deploy the tank this turn? Maybe that's okay, because it is a pretty high value move. Although, pushing this guy down means that I don't get to just use the combat mech to punch this guy onto the spawning spot, which is something I think I really would like to do. So what if we use the acid tank and the normal tank together to deal with these 2 guys? Is that possible? Because we could drop our acid tank off, have him come down here and shoot that guy out of the way. That's a problem. It's a problem because I don't really want to push this guy straight down. You know, I think we might just have to endure 2 damage here. So I fire off the acid tank. The acid tank deals with one of these 2. The cannon mech deals with the other one. Oh no, the artillery mech has to move. I was going to say we could acid tank and then just shoot this thing, but the artillery mech has to move or it will be destroyed by lava. So we do this. We do this. I think I just moved the hero out of the way, or the combat mech out of the way. No, you know what? I think the punch is still right. And then the cannon mech can just kill this thing. I think this is still right. It kills the blobber, it blocks a spawn. And he just gets... I guess he doesn't have to be all the way to the side, though. Yeah, I think that's pretty reasonable. This is just going to do 2 damage, and I think we have 5 HP here. Yeah, we'll be alright. Especially since I'm going to heal if I get any kills. Alright, even more fire being spewed out of the volcano. These guys are certain this is the right attack formation. It's a defensive rock wall and then attacks all adjacent tiles. Well, it wouldn't be too hard to drop this guy into the water. A fireball will strike here, destroying anything present. Okay, how about this? We can use the cannon mech to move this guy out of the way. We can use an artillery shot right here to move this guy to a spot where he's not doing any damage. Drop the Alpha Beetle into the water, slam our combat mech into the Alpha Digger, take him to 3 health, and then the combat mech punches the Alpha Digger for another 2 into this rock for another 1, killing it. And the artillery mech doesn't have to move for any part of this plan, which means he gets to also deploy his tank. I don't know what we'll do with the tank, but it'll be good to have. Well, actually, what we could do with the tank is have it shoot the Alpha Hornet, right? Deploy the tank. And if we do it this way, then the artillery mech can block a spawn. Yeah, I like this plan a lot, actually. Oh, I guess I've just done this in such a way that the our tank is going to get hit. Well, it's 1 damage. It's fine. I'm really glad I took the +2 health upgrade on him. I think that's been very valuable. Alright, so we get a kill here, and we get a health. Oh, I uncovered a spawner by doing that. I didn't realize. And then I just sit here and end the turn. Yeah, it's not perfectly ideal. I could have done that. I could have done some parts of that better. And we didn't actually have to worry about this guy at all, but the artillery shot needed to be here, so... yeah, this is fine. What kind of guy, what kind of scion are you? Alright, that's lava that doesn't matter. Oh, we're gonna have a chance to test my my theory here. All player units take 1 damage at the end of every turn. Absolutely not. Obviously not. Well, it's not too hard to damage these guys out. That's right, it's a tank push. This tank moves up and pushes. The artillery unit can fire in such a way as to deal with this guy. And we can block a spawner. We can move down to here, block this spawner, and kill the Scion Tyrant in the same move. I think that has to happen. Alright. That's great. Very pleased with that. It's possible this space does just sink into the lava. If it does, he still takes a fire damage, and also now he's covered in acid. That's gotta be good enough, right? Hold on, is there a way to use the... Yeah, we could use the artillery to do this in such a way that I still get to block this spawn. Oh no, I can't do both, though. I have to... The artillery has to move one of these guys out of the way, and the tank has to move the other one. I think the artillery can just stay where he is and do this. Yeah, the tank has to let the spawn happen, unfortunately. We are looking at a lot of enemies here. And then you have another move, but nothing really to do with it. Yeah, I can't do anything that matters in any way. I probably should have moved him, like, toward the center. Okay, no, I was wrong. It is just lava. The space just sinks into the lava. Alright, that'll be good to know for future runs when we're in mortal danger, and we actually need that information. Okay, this is the last turn coming up. Well, that's a lot of enemies. Fortunately, some of them are focusing on the mechs. How do we want to deal with this? This guy can just be hit from behind, and it'll move his targeting up to here. He'll hit these 2 squares. Yeah, he'll hit these 2 squares. That won't matter. We have to deal with this guy and this guy as well. Fortunately, they both don't really have a lot of health left. So the way we deal with them can just be, we blow them up. We blow them the heck up. Right, so we do this, take advantage of the fact that we now do more than 1 damage per artillery shot. And he moves to here and solves this problem. And nothing else matters? Right, we do that, and then we're all clear, yeah. Victory in 1 turn, except you may have guessed from the fact that I'm not celebrating, there is more to it than that. Incoming seismic activity. So there is a second phase to the battle. The island foundation is collapsing due to unusual VEC activity beneath the surface. They managed to tunnel so much that they've destabilized the whole thing. And now we get to be inside of the terrifying volcanic island. And I don't get to make use of my cool drop thing. Alright, these are the final set of power pylons. Being at full grid power here is pretty good. Alright, they're going to deploy a Renfield bomb. We have to not let the VEC destroy it. And it'll just destroy the entire island that we're currently inside of. What I'm saying is I think there are some parts of this plan that are not perfect. Please just go stand on that. Aw. None of them want to stand on the instant death squares. Okay. And unfortunately, we can't get our combat mech into the middle of them to do the world's greatest vortex punch. Well, the Alpha Beetle's not massive, right? Okay. So anything that pushes the Alpha Beetle down will cause him to charge to his death. If I were to drop an artillery shell right here, it would negate this guy's attack and effectively kill that beetle. Oh, I don't have quite enough movement to stand on a spawn while doing that. That's a shame. What else could I do? We don't really have to deal with you. We just have to move the artillery instead of double firing. Man. Firefly leaders. I kind of forgot about these guys. That's terrifying. Well, we can't put him to use for us, unfortunately. He's too far away from all the other enemies. We could, like I said, we could use an artillery shell here. We could move the artillery guy to... Actually, there's not a lot of locations from which we can fire that particular shot. None, actually. The Renfield bomb is taking up the spot we need to stand in. So we have to solve this in a different way. If we just back way up and we fire here, then it screws up... No, it doesn't screw up this guy's shot. Well, we could back way up and fire on the spot where the artillery mech is currently standing. That'll screw up his shot. Obviously, we had to move our combat mech first. How are we going to deal with this guy? I can shoot him with the tank if we move this one, which we can't. We shoot this guy with the tank. Yeah, the combat mech needs to be able to move one more space. So actually, the artillery mech is the only one that can interact with the Firefly leader. That's a good constraint to notice. So he has to like move over to here, and then probably the smart way to do this would be to deploy the tank and have the tank come down here and push this guy that way. That way we have our tank for future turns. And that means that the tank and the combat mech are on the hook for dealing with these two. We don't have to worry about this guy. That's not so bad, actually. Yeah, that's definitely what we do. Do I want to go all the way back so that the artillery mech can use this line to line up the rest of his shots? I think I do. Actually, case being what it is, maybe we just want to go straight back. Drop the acid tank, like, here. Okay. One problem solved. And now this guy's covered in acid as well. Be very helpful. I guess it doesn't really matter how we do this next part. Either way, we end up with this guy here having taken 2 damage, and this guy here having taken 2 damage. The question is really just... Oh no, actually it does matter. Because if the punch mech comes down here to deal with this guy, the cannon mech doesn't have a super clean shot anymore. Oh, actually, no, the cannon mech moves here first. Yeah, there it is, because now we get to block a spawn. That's the one. Okay, I feel pretty good about that. It took forever to arrive at that solution, but I feel good about it. And we didn't get to make use of the rocks, unfortunately. We did get to make a beetle charge to his own death, though. That's very satisfying every single time. Well done. Okay, still a lot of stuff on the table. Okay, that thing's easy to kill. The unit here will die, and the tile will turn into lava. Oh, you know what? I bet this is what I was thinking of upstairs. Okay. How much health does the Renfield bomb have? 4. So we could let this charge happen. We also could push it. We just use a push, like an artillery push or something. I'm glad that I used the artillery unit to deploy the tank last turn, because we're not going to have an easy time deploying it anymore. We're going to have to be moving a lot, I think. So the acid tank could move to here, shoot this guy, ruining his shot, negating this guy's damage, and blocking that. If he does that, though, it's actually hard for us to deal with the Alpha Scorpion. Because probably the best version of this is that we punch the Alpha Scorpion onto that, right? We could use the artillery unit. We could, no, we can't. I was going to say we could have him drop a shell right here, which will kill the Firefly, but he actually can't get to a position where he can do that. Okay. Any damage at all kills this guy, so that could be what the artillery guy does. Can move the acid tank to here and fire upward, hitting the Alpha Scorpion. And then somebody else could come in and stand here where he will have moved out of and hit him again. The cannon mech can just like move this guy out of the way, or there's 3 turns left. We don't have to do a huge amount of work. Like, at this point, I don't think it matters. I don't think there's an achievement or anything for winning with the power grid full. I think all we have to do is keep it from zeroing. I wish I had some kind of pull projectile so we could just yank this guy into the lava. I also wish that the tentacle positions were anywhere near the enemies. I don't think we're going to be able to use them. Alright, I think that's right. We do this. We finish him off. We don't finish him off, but we do a lot of damage anyway. Hold on. Oh, maybe I should have moved this guy and then just killed... No, I can't just kill this guy with the artillery mech unless he's covered in acid. That's the only way that works. But maybe that's what I do, right? I shoot this guy with the artillery mech. I just move it to like here. Shoot him with the artillery mech to do 6 damage. Have somebody else come up here and kill this guy. Punch mech, maybe. And then the tank pushes this guy down into the path of the Firefly leader's shot. That means I'm letting the Renfield bomb just take 3 damage, which will severely limit our ability to mess with it later. Yeah, I think it's the only option, though. Sorry, it's the only option that causes us to lose zero power grid. Maybe that's not good enough. Maybe I should just be dealing with this guy. He's in a really awkward spot, though. How does my Vortex Punch work? It moves everything to the left. So if I stood here... Well, first of all, if I stood here and punched, it would damage the power grid and the bomb. It would knock him in the lava, though. That is something. I'm just going to let him do the charge. Six damage is pretty good. Every version of this involved one of the mechs taking push damage. Yeah, it's not the end of the world. And we do this. Okay. So there's going to be... Oh! The tentacles will obliterate the space, so I don't think anything will emerge here. So there's actually not going to be very many enemies next turn. Which is good, because we're really going to have to control what's left. We cannot afford to be taking any more damage on the bomb. Okay, we got some more rock falling. And we just push this guy in the lava, right? How do we deal with you? We can just actually just do lethal damage to him, can't we? Have the artillery move over here, drop 3 damage on him, then have the combat mech punch him for another 2. You push the Firefly leader into the lava, and then the tank just blocks somebody. I mean, we only have to deal with 3 enemies next turn. I think that's right. Oh, it doesn't just kill him. Right, because he's a leader, not an alpha. Leaders are massive. It does stop his attack. It makes this a lot less good, though. Yeah, and then you just, like, cover one of these and repair yourself. Alright. So we actually have to deal with 4 enemies. One of them is just a normal Firefly. Or one of them is just a normal Hornet, though. That's nice. And nobody is attacking the Renfield bomb. Okay, for a second there I was like, hold on. Is it the case that between the lot of them they're not even going to do enough damage to kill us? But no, it is not the case. Also, for some reason there's emerging stuff even though victory is in 1 turn. Well, the tank can just push this guy and ruin his shot. This tank can... that's awkward. I can't actually move to here. I was gonna stand here and shoot him. Well, it's not like we have a shortage of ways to hit this guy. Alright, and the space that the bomb is on did not get tentacled. Thankfully. The game was merciful. No, like, I don't need to shoot you, but I can, so why not? Oh, why not is because you had to move. Yeah. SB. Think 3 seconds in the future, man. Fortunately, I had my reset left, and also the turn turns out to be very easy. There. Now you can spite kill him. Well done. Okay, I think we won. I think that's actually it. Unless something unforeseen happens. I mean, yeah. The Renfield bomb is ready. I recommend you leave now, or you'll share a grave with the Vec. And of course, we don't really have a lot of ways of leaving. Re-engaging Vec in alternate timeline with new combat data. This temporal breach has been repaired within acceptable parameters. Other timelines are in need of our on-the-job skills. Now, unfortunately, I think we only get to send one of our guys back. That's probably going to have some larger consequences, I think. Island civilians protected, 19,000. Total Earth lives saved, approximately 4.6 billion. Hey, well done, me. Good job. Alright. Yeah, so we select one pilot to continue the fight in our next timeline. Who is the best of these guys? Mech can act twice if it does not move is very strong. I don't think Ghana's special ability is anywhere near as good. Yeah, Silica's going back. Alright, well, that was a very successful run. We got quite a few achievements done. Let's actually go look at the achievements now. So we managed to earn 9 coins there. Alright, so there's the victory line of achievements. Beat the game, beat it on hard. Beat the game at the different lengths. We can definitely do this. Beat the game with 4 different squads. Of course, that'll happen. Beat the game with all 10 primary squads. It is a little strange that there's a thing that gives you a coin that you can't do until after you've spent all the coins? You know, after you bought everything? Unlock a new squad, which we're about to do. Spend 50 reputation across all games. Actually almost completed. Block 100 Vec across all games. Also done very well. rescue 100,000 civilians, collect 10 perfect island rewards. So yeah, a lot of this stuff is all stuff that will just happen. We don't have to try for this. Finish a corporate island without taking mech damage is a tricky one because that means we can't block, or at least we can't use our own bodies to block spawns. This is something I will actually have to try to do intentionally. So let's keep an eye on opportunities for this during our next run. Earn or buy 10 grid power on a single island. Okay, earn 9 reputation. We got all the maximum level stuff. If we unlock one more pilot, we'll get an achievement. Have an individual pilot fight the final battle 3 times across multiple games. Well, it looks like Silica is our target for this one. And encounter a familiar face. This is, this looks to me like a Mantis person from FTL. The silhouette. I'm assuming that this is, this is you'll find a pilot somewhere who is a reference to FTL. Finish 3 corporate islands without dropping below 4 grid power. I mean, this one's basically just play the game and do a good job. We can do this. Finish 3 corporate islands without powering a modification. Okay. Finish 3 corporate islands and destroy every time pod. We can do that. Yeah, that should be fine. Finish 3 corporate islands without failing an objective. We had 2 perfect islands and 1 where I only failed 1. We almost got this, actually. Okay, this is totally doable. Maybe not on hard, though. And finally, finish 3 corporate islands without equipping any new pilots or weapons. Alright, all of this stuff feels very doable to me. But some of it I'm not sure we'd be able to do on hard. I don't know, maybe we won't go up to hard right away. Maybe we'll try to knock out a couple of these more difficult achievements first. Anyway, that's going to be it for us for today. No, it's not. You know what? Let me know what squads you want me to unlock here. We got 9 coins, so let's take a quick look at these. The Rusting Hulks have weather manipulators. These guys are pretty cool. They create smoke. We saw a little bit of smoke on the desert island. They create lots of smoke. So smoke is a thing you can put in a tile, and it makes the unit in that tile unable to attack. But also, one of the Rusting Hulks has a passive item equipped that makes it so smoke deals 1 damage to whatever's in it at the beginning of the turn when fire damage happens. So obviously there's a cool gimmick going on there. These guys have lasers and shields, I guess. I haven't really designed this squad around the mass destruction capabilities of harnessed lightning. I haven't played as the Blitzkrieg squad either. The Steel Judica, these guys are cool. They specialize in positional manipulation. So one of them has a passive on that causes the Vec to deal bonus damage to each other, and then their prime mech has the throw you over my head move from the start. And so you just spend the whole battle, spend every battle trying to maneuver the Vec into fighting each other. And as you saw a little bit during this run, it's actually not that hard, and it's always very satisfying when it works. The Flame Behemoths just light everything on fire. Everything always on fire. I like these guys a lot. And then the Frozen Titans, which rely on a Cryo Launcher, a powerful weapon that takes an experienced pilot to master, and the Hazardous Mechs. These are both squads I've not played. These mechs have spectacular damage output, but rely on nanobots feeding off dead Vec to stay alive. I wonder if that means they have the passive healing on killing blows thing that we had this run. Anyway, that's what these guys do. Let me know what you want us to unlock. We also, in order to get all the achievements, will have to play with a random squad, just 3 random mechs from a group from among the ones we've unlocked, and a custom squad built of any 3 mechs we've unlocked. I don't want to do these, either of them, until we have considerably more stuff unlocked. We could do randomized squad right now, and it would just be the Riftwalkers, and thus fairly easy and straightforward, but that's not fun. So we're gonna unlock most of the squads before we do either of these. So anyway, we got 9 coins. We can afford anything. Let me know in the comments below what you guys would like to see us play. Thank you so much for watching, and come back next time. We're starting a new run that I think probably will be a little bit more interesting. And we'll see you then.